Hey.
Yeah. What's up,
going
man?
I love it.
everyone?
That's a great intro. I think
thanks,
that's
man.
got to be new, right? Was that
Yeah,
was that
yeah.
the last time?
Well, so we had the
No,
music
that's it.
before, but now we have that animation that Kevin,
I
our good
love
co-host,
it.
made for us. Yeah,
Yeah, he
did an
made it
incredible
almost entirely
job.
from scratch too. Really cool.
Dude, that's really fun. I gotta send you. I have a podcast that's been dormant for a little bit now called Nerds on Coffee. I really want to get
that's
back
fun.
up and running. But our little intro jingle is very akin. It would be siblings to that.
Nice.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh man. Well, we
Do
got
I
to
have
have
to?
you
Do
back
I have
on
to?
the podcast.
I was gonna ask. Do I have to drink coffee to get involved with that podcast? I got off it a couple years ago, but I'm definitely a nerd.
I'll come on too. We can drink coffee. I'll drink coffee for you.
Kyle, who I do the podcast with, is the one who never drank coffee before the podcast, and I would bring him various blends and roasts and so on and so forth every episode. And now he's a very astute, single origin, pour over coffee aficionado. I take partial credit. He went full on in, so he gets a lot of the credit himself. But the idea was he would try new coffee, we would shoot the shit and have some fun guests, and we do a little Mystery Theater 3000 sometimes and watch like terrible sci-fi movies and just like commentate them.
That's so funny.
That's
It's kind of similar. We have a segment that we've done in the past. We're hoping to revive pretty soon as Cocktails and Collectibles, where we just drink a different alcohol or whatever it is every week, and then we just do basically just an adult show and tell with our friends and with cool people who collect. Yeah,
I love it. You gotta do like a drinking game with that. Like every time somebody shows like a Superman collectible, it's like a shot.
I like that. Should make a checklist.
Exactly. But yeah, guys, it's been I guess it's been like a few 6-7 months, so I think there's a lot to chat about. I'm excited to dig in, but I'd love to also hear how you guys are doing. This bear market from a crypto standpoint is really interesting to me because you see what companies have real strategy, and what companies maybe we're just riding the highs. And Star Alice, which did head writing for and all that, is doing some really cool things. They just had an amazing breakpoints. If you guys watched that presentation, I really loved what Michael was saying, and the comic series that I helped spearhead with Tim McBurney is still going live. So I want to give them a little bit of love.
That's good. Glad that's still moving forward. That's great.
Well, being a 49er fan, I'm really excited about today's episode.
As we were saying before we got going, there is a lot of synergy with some of the players. Sort of like it's interesting, right? Because in baseball, if you were a Yankee, you could not play on the Red Sox, and vice versa. And the ones that did was like it definitely was
Babe Ruth.
Right? No, you had Babe Ruth and you had Roger Clemens and
yeah.
And you had Johnny Damon. And
I would say Johnny Damon. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
That might have been it. But, the 49ers and Seahawks have definitely shared some players over the years. Sherman being, I think, the most prolific for sure. But yeah, we did this amazing comic book with Bobby Wagner and the Seahawks and the NFL and VMFH hospital system to I'll just dive in. Bobby started a foundation in his mother's name, the Feeney and May Foundation, to raise awareness on strokes and how to prevent them and how to look out for them. And, really serious topic. His mother had passed away of one years ago. And Bobby took all the lead, and big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fan, Miles Morales, things like that, and challenged the hospital system to come up with a strategy that was more unique, a way to really share the story that's very serious in a maybe a more palatable, maybe in a way that wasn't so adversive and all that stuff. And as you see, we turned Bobby and this whole universe into a comic series called Fast 54. And, there's a nice little entendre with Read and React, because as a, future Hall of Fame middle linebacker, he's one of the best guys at reading and reacting to a play. But reading and reacting to a loved one that might be experiencing symptoms of stroke is the difference between like saving their lives and having to deal with a catastrophe. So we were able to thread that needle, and I thought that was really, really great. I'm sure we'll put in the links, but just to throw it out there, vmfh.org/Seahawks is where you can get all the information on it. We've raised hundreds of thousands of dollars already in the first, I think it's 8 weeks now. Given away and sold somewhere around 12,000 comics. Done stuff with Microsoft and a couple of other partners. I'm not sure if the other ones I'm allowed to talk about yet, but it's been really really special, right? Because when you can use a medium like comic books, something that we all love near and dear, and not just create a livelihood from it, but create a message that can actually transcend just your own needs and help others. It's very rare that all of those things intersect into a project. So that's why I'm just so elated about what we got going on here.
That's so cool.
I mean, it's such a cool project. Yeah, I love the mission, and I also just in general love how you always find yourself in these comic projects that are kind of with these kind of like music festivals or alternative companies or nonprofits, or you just find your way to bring comics to so many different areas. I love it. Yeah.
It feels like one of the innovations or thoughts or points of view is that most people wish they were their 11-year-old self again, or see themselves. Their internal monologue is that 11-year-old self. And I think comic books, especially ones that are designed for adults, have this really interesting through line that makes you feel like you're a kid again, services that inner monologue, but does something that your current age self actually cares about. And when you can find that intersection, I think you get magic too. And this book is one of those opportunities. I think Bobby is as amazing, if not more amazing, person off the field than he is on the field. And being able to work with him on it and help share his story, because it's all about him and getting the foundation, the notoriety, and the visibility that it needs has been a real blessing and an amazing opportunity.
And just for context, everyone out there, if you're not a football fan, Bobby Wagner is one of the best linebackers ever to play the game, one of the best athletes to ever play the game. He's incredible, a future Hall of Famer. I mean, we've got the best of the Niners, so you can probably tell the PTSD is sinking in a little bit. But if I was there, and I would be excited about getting a signed autograph from him, and that says a lot coming from
a lot coming from a Niners. It's like one of those things too, where like he's one of the best on the field, and then when you talk to him off the field, it's really it's layered and it's deep, and it's not just about football. It's about impacting his community, and it's dare I say, it's everything that like Walter Payton embodies, and all of those visionary players from history. You feel and see a lot of that when you have these conversations with Bobby. So it's been really cool and really fun, and you got to give it up to the Seahawks organization for supporting the whole thing, and VMFH Hospital. At the end of the day, they had the kahunas to let a comic book guy take their promotion and make it a reality. I mean, that was cool. a real risk at the beginning, because they had no idea where it was going to go. They'd never made a comic book before, so big ups to that whole team as well.
That's so cool. And how did you connect with Bobby?
Again, it was one of those crazy situations. Bobby had tasked the hospital system to come up with a unique way to share the story. They tasked their marketing agency, who's buddies with my CMO, and we all got on the horn and had a couple of conversations, and it felt right away.
That's awesome. Wow. And I'm really happy to hear he's as awesome on the field as he is off the field, because he's always been a class player, and that's a high praise.
Yeah, amazing guy overall. So the success of the foundation and the message couldn't be happening to a better person.
And also, just to backtrack a little bit for everyone that missed our last interview with you, could you give us a little bit of a quick recap on your background in the comic space?
Yeah, so I spent handful of years with Heavy Metal as their CEO, 2019 to the end of 22. I also was the head writer for Star Atlas, as we had talked about, helping to architect their entire lore with their incredible team. Danny Floyd, who's their chief product officer, is a huge influence on that world. And a couple of the other guys on the marketing and communications team really brought that to life. And before that, I was a tour and production manager in music, blowing things up on stage, which was a lot of fun. And then my custom comics brand that we do the Fast 54 through Hero Projects, that's done work with Disney and Floyd Mayweather and Chance the Rapper, Live Nation, the Rolling Loud Music Festival, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so cool. Before we move on, I wanted to give a real quick shout out to some of our people that we got listening live here. We got Nas Clint here. He's a Seahawks fan, so awesome. he's hyped that we're talking about this stuff. Yeah, he said that. Yeah, there's a lot of community events that he does in the Pacific Northwest, which is great.
That's awesome.
And we got the comic father in the house. What's
up?
Good?
What's up? Thanks for joining.
Yeah. So you have some other really exciting stuff going on outside of the comic that you did with the Seahawks, the NFL. So I wonder if you could tell us a bit about your new company, Gungnir. I'm pronouncing that right?
Yeah, Gungnir. Yeah. I always do around Hushman Zeta if we're going to stay with the football cues. Tomato, tomato. But Gungnir is the staff of Odin. If you seen any of the Marvel films or read any of Norse lore, you'd see that the staff that Odin holds is named Gungnir, and like Mjolnir for Thor, it's his choice of power, and the company is looking to create and publish new and exciting stories that are meant to push the boundaries of dreamers and thinkers of the next generation, really focused on compelling stories, science fiction, fantasy, horror, genre-based, that aren't just popcorn and aren't necessarily the most mainstream. Some might be, but are really designed to help inspire people. Maybe it's a big artist or a musician who has a huge fan base and who wants to get into the comic space and showing other people that that's possible and helping with bringing their identity to a new space, or a story that's just telling a thought-provoking idea, like For All Mankind, what if Russia beat us to the moon? Thought-provoking ideas like that are the impetus for Gungnir. And we'll be announcing soon, I'll tell you guys offline, who's going to be distributing us, who's our partners, and some of these amazing titles that we'll be talking more about in December. But yeah, we are really excited. I'm bringing a punk rock sort of attitude to the publisher. I think that when we look at books today, so many people are thinking of selling and publishing them to a very small, very direct book market right now. And I think that obviously you need to service people who care about books, and you don't ever want to forget about them. That's your core audience. But some of them are starting to go digital. I think Global Comics is doing some amazing things. And some of them don't want to have so much paper. But there's a lot of people out there who would take a book and get a beautiful hardcover copy of something and put it on a coffee table and maybe read it. And maybe it's just an art piece for them. And I think there's a huge world of people that are looking at books as art, as emotional connections, as just the ability to see something beautiful on their table, invoking something the same way that being at a concert invokes a certain emotional feeling. I thinking of the books and the aesthetic of the books and the packaging of the books as an emotional reaction. And how do we correlate that that emotional reaction to a physical item? So all our books are only going to be hardcover. We're not publishing anything softcover. They're supposed to be designed, if you want to read it and you don't want to pay for a hardcover book, they'll be on Global Comics. That's where you can do that. But if you want something that you can look at it and smile every time, that's really the impetus for our physical copies of the books. And yeah, we're just really excited about it.
That's so cool. Yeah, that really like reminds me, especially when you're saying like punk rock, and this isn't quite punk, but like one of my favorite music artists is Steven Wilson. He's like from Porcupine Tree. I don't know if you know him, but like he's whenever he puts out an album, he puts out like a crazy, physical book that has, the CDs and the Blu-rays and stuff in it, but all of his art, and it's always like such a beautiful like work of art that he puts out within it, like kind of completes the full experience with the music. You can leaf through it while you listen to it. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it evoked when you were talking about there. But yeah, so it's very, very cool that you're going that route. I love that.
Yeah, it's really amazing. One of our first books, I think it's public-ish, so I'll give a little alpha, is a book called Mutant Cats. It's relative to this sphere as well. Mutant Cats is a DAO. An NFT DAO, Mutant Cats, crypto DAO. Hero was tasked 2 years ago with taking their NFTs and building a universe out of them. And I think we created something really special. And we're already working on the adaptation. The book comes out in March. It's going to be the flagship first book that we put out. It's called Cluster F-U, Amberson. And it's really Rick and Morty esque, cool. And has a lot of those undertones, and yeah, it's gonna be really, really fun. Music Man Ed, which is his NFT handle, so I'm not sure if I'm supposed to give his real names. I'm just gonna call him that. Is a big catalyst in the entire DAO over there. Zion, I want to shout them all out because they entrusted us with an amazing opportunity. Yakuza, Godi, Svet, all of those guys over there were amazing at again entrusting us with this vision of their characters to bring it to the world. And I'll send you guys a PDF of it so you can review it, check it out. It's really, really fun. I will say that we have this amazing character that's the Mukanga, which is like our Godzilla, just to give you a sense of the vibes. But yeah, that's the first title. We're doing about 4 to 6 a year. So it's going to be very, very curated, not a ton, and really focused on quality.
Nice. Are these going to be like limited releases, like 5,000 editions, like something like along those lines, or?
Yeah, so we're going to do about 5,000 copies per edition. Once those sell out, we'll most likely do a second edition with a new cover, and so on and so forth from that point of view. We'll also have a fully capable online shop so that if you don't want to go into a bookstore or get it from Amazon and you want to buy it direct, we'll have a website with some limited prints as well from like our favorite pages of the book.
Cool. Nice. Do you have any plans to, I guess, connect the digital side of things to what you're doing with this publisher with Gungnir?
Yeah, I mean, from a digital publishing, definitely going to work with Global Comics. We've had some amazing conversations with them. They're doing some great stuff there. We're looking at other places, other possible Web3 integrations as well. Having a couple of interesting conversations with platforms and toolkits like Aspen. I don't know if you know about them, but they're doing some really, really cool stuff on the contracting and legal side of it all, and to make it all like flow seamlessly. So, I'm a big believer, and I think we talked about this on the last podcast. Web3 really wins when you don't know it's Web3, when it's just integrated in. And so we're looking at solutions, and we're looking at opportunities and ways to find those realities in these early days where we can integrate some interesting blockchain technology, but you might never know it. And I think that is the real future of the technology. I think we talked about the roofs and doors analogy last time, and I think we're getting closer to Web3 being able to be a more fortified home for the internet.
Yes, that is the goal. But yeah, I think we got to give a whole bunch of people wallets and not tell them that we're giving them wallets, and then surprise them later, and they're like, "Whoa, blockchain!" Yeah. We need that moment. We need that moment. I think the technology, at least where it is right now, it's like, or at least there's just been so many negative, misperceptions or misconceptions about it, and rightly so. I mean, there's been so many bad actors, and there's been a lot of good reason for people to be scared.
It's definitely
and
scared, man.
yeah,
Even with my MetaMask, I mean, I almost got scammed the other day. I was like, Spencer, I think this is
I did get scammed over the summer. I mean, yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it happens,
Yeah.
It's so I think there's a lot that needs to happen to get the masses on board. And I feel like, I mean, I've been around this space since 2017, and I thought in 2017 it was right around the corner. And now I'm at this point, I'm like, it still kind of feels like it's around the corner, but maybe not even that soon. I think it's still a few years out,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Well, I mean, we're definitely in a better place than maybe we were 9 months ago, but we're still on the road with the city far in the distance.
Yeah, totally agree. And we got a comment here from Nas Clan. He said he needs to get one of the comics and get B Wags to sign it.
I love it. Yeah. So if you go to the website vmfh.org /Seahawks, I believe there's an opportunity to purchase a signed one from Bobby on the site, where the proceeds go to the foundation. So it's all a win for everyone.
That's great. And everyone out there, if you want to get it graded, look into CBCS, because if you go to CGC, it has to be witness signature, but they can verify the signature with CBCS. So there you go.
There you go.
Awesome.
Cool. And then, so you have more new things. There's more.
Yeah. For what? There's more.
So you also have
the year of new.
It's the big year. It's the year of Matt. So you have a new IP studio that you're also coming out with called Iconic Arts.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if you could tell us a bit about that, and then how that connects with Gungnir.
Totally. So Gungnir and Hushmanzada. My wife is gonna listen to this, and she's gonna say, because she says it Gungnir, and I always say Gungnir for whatever idiotic reasons, and she's like, that would be NAR, not NIR. And so I'm gonna get a lot of.
I like to shred the Gungnir.
Yeah, exactly.
I want that on a T-shirt so bad.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing. I actually did. Quick aside, I did buy my dad a shirt that says Fathor on it, which is just perfection.
That's really good.
That's really good. So Gungnir and Iconic are like sister companies. Iconic is an amazing vision led by my partner, Stephen Hadidian, who's our CEO, fearless leader, founder, brought us all together. Partners like Alec Roth and Jack Sheehan and Mo Yazani. And
speaking of which,
my man, there he is. and a bunch of other amazing talents are part of this vision, where we're looking to not just create IP. I think there's a lot of companies that pop up all the time that are looking to create new stories and compelling stories at that, and get them through the entertainment system. But I think one of our competitive advantages and differentiators is we're looking at IP as franchises, and how do you create worlds for fans to live in, and try to engineer them from the beginning, and not just get lucky because something popped off and then you build it around there, but using data, using AI tools in the right stacks and in the right ways, and not in the wrong ways, and not being greedy about using it in overly in the artistic side. I think, that whole conversation needs to be fleshed out more and needs to have more honesty around it. I think there's a lot of disingenuous notions with AI in art these days, and a lot of things are said that are impossible to even do, like scanning likenesses and them actually being able to use it. Technology's not there, and those scans wouldn't work with a system that is yet to be designed. But that's a whole other conversation for a whole other time. But what I do think is really important is being safe, working with the creators, artists like myself, to find the right medium of AI, whatever that is, whenever that is, because it's not going to go away, and it is going to make artists' lives easier. And that is the hope, is that it doesn't just save costs for studios, but it makes artists' lives easier. It fixes someone might have an amazing take that one thing was off in it, and they can fix that using a tool, and really being honest about how to use these different systems in the right way, I think, is a conversation to be had at a later time. But I hope our society allows for that. But stacking the right AI tools to be able to create the right propulsion engine, the right understanding of if a franchise has legs in early days, and designing IP world Bibles and game design documents foundationally so that you can understand multiple views of a story, and then understanding that journey of it. Are you starting as a toy, as a game, as a graphic novel, as a TV series, as a short, as a social media experiment, as a film, and what are the growth patterns from it? Not just the carbon copies from one medium to the other, but taking a story and telling an entire universe across these different mediums, and not doing multimedia, which a lot of people have a lot of misconceptions about.
Nope.
But
Transmedia, baby.
there's Mo, one of my other co-founders right there, my man. And really looking to take these worlds to a new level. We have this one called "I'll Literally Pay You to Abduct Me." Call it "Abduct Me," and imagine if an alien species came down to your planet and started an apocalypse, and then you were able to you had to actually get abducted because your planet's gone and it's getting destroyed. So reversing the traditional logic and the traditional thought process, and this is in our development system. We're about to share it live. Well, sharing it live here, sharing it with friends and family and all that stuff. But it'll be out on our website and all that stuff in the coming months. So you'll be able to search for it. So you get some real fun alpha here. You can search for some of our characters on their social profiles that are starting to populate places. But using techniques like that to really focus in on character development, on environment development, and to be able to understand where they can trajectory can go, so that when you do create a show, you have the toy ready, or when you do create a toy, you have social media ready, or when you do create a live event, that you have content on the back end of it, and not just being reactive to success, but having a really thoughtful, proactive roadmap, so that success can feel additive and not haphazard. And that's really what Iconic Arts does. And one of the other arms of Iconic Arts is our sort of IP services arm. And we work with different games and Web3 games to really bring that sort of skill set and thought process and points of view to other games that might need that help. One of them, just to shout it out real quick, is called Battlefly. They're a Web3 game, really cool strategy game. We are latched in as a company as their creative force, and doing helping with their upcoming player a game release called Coliseum. It's early beta access is December 4th. It's going to be a tournament style game with strategy, and each of the tournaments are about 20 minutes long, 8 players. It's casual, it's competitive, it's there's paid prizes and entries and all that fun stuff. So Battlefly, I think it's called Battlefly.game is the website. Again, that's another amazing team and another amazing relationship. Our friends over at Polygon did some matchmaking, and we really love the vibe that that Battlefly has, the team, the vision, and that's important to us too. I think working with the right types of people who have the right types of vision on how Web3 works and how IP works and how stories all sort of funnel up to mechanics and funnel down through the mechanics is such a critical piece of the puzzle. I think sometimes gets maybe not missed, but not as a focus point. And it's definitely an area that I think we at Iconic are really focused in on.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I think especially in the Web3 space, a lot of these companies, like you said, are they're being very reactive. They're not being proactive. They raised a bunch of money, kind of out of nowhere during this big boom, and then they got to figure out now what are we going to do to cultivate this IP and actually try to grow it. And I feel like a lot of them didn't really have a battle plan. So I think it's very important, for a lot of these companies, if they actually want to see the success and the growth that they want to get, that they have somebody like you who's in their corner and helping them out. So yeah, love that you guys are doing that. That's incredible.
Yeah, it's a really good time. It's obviously I like to say this a lot. We feel blessed that we get to imagine worlds all day for a living. Be able to finance our livelihoods and live the ways that we want to live because we're imagining other worlds and thinking about how interactions can occur. So it's all love, and it's all just like it's just a party. Right? It's just a big party. If we wanted to do mundane work, we'd all be accountants.
Exactly.
Not saying anything wrong with any accountants listening. I do love you too, because I can't do that work.
We appreciate you. Yeah, I can't do that myself.
Yeah, we do appreciate
for sure.
Mainly because accounts are like weathermen. They are not at fault when they're wrong. So you gotta love them.
It's so funny. We've got a couple other people in the house. We got Daniel Marquez, the Comic King. What's going on, man? Great to see you. We got Ronnie Lido. What's going on?
Ronnie.
Let's go. And then Pastor Neck, we'll talk about some VV stuff in another stream on a more related stream. But I don't know. Maybe real quick. What do you think?
Collectible games. What do
you think?
On your Twitter, you guys are fire with some of the collectibles you guys give out.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been fun. We've been obsessed with giveaways. Yeah.
Yep.
That's amazing.
I'm looking over at a literally storage bin full of cool things that we're excited to give away. Yeah.
I mean, if you guys want, let's offline. I'll send you guys a bunch of the Bobby books for you guys to give away.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Cool. Yeah, our community would love that. Yeah, let's totally do that.
Great.
Yeah,
let's do it. We're down.
Super generous. That's awesome.
Nice.
So,
Thank you,
I've been blabbering now for 30 minutes. You guys tell me what's new in your guys' world. How's everything been going with comics and crypto, and what's new with you guys?
Yeah, Sean, you go ahead. You give an update. I feel like I've been talking more than you.
It's been great. It's been great. We've been to multiple Comic Cons over the past couple of months. We went to FanX and met the cast of Back to the Future. I got like I look at VHS tapes that were signed by the cast and graded by Rewind. We're really excited about the sealed media market, especially for VHS tapes and cassettes and vinyl. It's very exciting. People are really pumped about it. And we got the New York Comic Con, and we met a lot of the CGC team who they grade comics, and they're going to grade everything. And they just announced was it last year New York Comic Con? No, it was San Diego Comic Con. They announced there's going to be CGC toys, which they're going to start grading action figures and So we've been talking about this for the past year that everything's going to be graded. All sealed media, everything that's connected to nostalgia and pop culture is all going to be graded. So if there's a market for it, people are excited about it, they're going to grade it. It's going to be fun. It's fun. So between that and the digital space, we're still very much tied to the digital space, of course. And we've been involved with a lot of cool companies, VV and Crypt Toys, really cool company that's partnered with Disney. Yeah. So it's been really fun just talking to people
more about your VV work. I know a couple of those guys. I think they're doing some really interesting things on comics and how to bridge that tactile physical feeling, but in a digital space is something that is obviously the secret sauce. I feel like they're on the right track with.
Yeah, they just sold the first physical comic from VV. It's like it's a Marvel collaboration. It's a Marvel comic, but partnered with VV, and it has the VV logo on it. And they sold it for the first comic was at New York Comic Con. Yeah. They also announced Addiction, which is a comic series, really cool, created by Vince, who was he's the co-founder of Comic Connect, and really cool guy. And that they basically dropped a digital. It was a physical at Comic Con with a bunch of rare variants, and then they dropped the digital as well, which sold out. So really exciting to see independent brands, independent comics come to VV. Really exciting.
Yeah. Hopefully more of that happens in the near future. I would love to see more independent brands and independent communities get involved.
I mean, if they're doing independent brands now, let's talk. Make a connection to who you got over there. We'll put Gungnir.
Oh yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, we'd love to connect.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I love that. Yeah, definitely.
That sounds awesome. What so off topic, but because it's in your background, now I'm interviewing you, Sean. What do you think? What is your thoughts on the Superman Legacy film and the pieces being moved and James running it and I guess that Euphoria actor came out yesterday saying that he passed it up because he said the script was too dark, which was
interesting.
I was actually like, let's go.
Too dark.
I was like,
Superman too, which is a lighthearted character.
I like that.
Yeah,
I love that. I mean, I will say I am such a big fan of James Gunn. He is such an inspiration. I think he's a wonderful director, a really cool guy, and he genuinely cares. I mean, I tweeted out like a year ago, or it was a year and a half ago, when is DC just going to pay James Gunn $1 billion to run the DC film department? And then sure enough, 6 months later, they hired him. I was like, yeah. But that's the validation I needed.
Pretty much $1 billion is what they're getting for it. I mean,
yeah. But DC, I am very optimistic that he's going to do a wonderful job. I think he's definitely on the right path. He's announced a lot of things. There's a lot of overhead, but I'm excited to see these things come to fruition. And Superman Legacy is going to be a really interesting start. I know that's a very, very sentimental film for him. He's writing and directing it. It's a film that actually is coming out on his dad's birthday, which he didn't even realize until he started talking to his brother. And it's actually my birthday as well, July 11th. Let's go. So I'm really happy that they kept the date. I actually tweeted out recently that James Gunn actually announced that they're going to keep the original date, even aside from everything that's been happening in the film industry. They've been able to keep the original date of, was it July 11th, 2025? Yeah, which is really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I was reading principal photography will start in January, so they'll wrap shooting by June, and then that gives them 10 months to edit and VFX it before they got to get out for distribution. It's tight, but
yeah, I will say James Gunn runs a super tight ship. I mean, I don't remember if it was Peacemaker or if it was
Peacemaker. I heard about this.
Oh, Peacemaker's amazing, but Guardians 3 they wrapped early. Like they wrapped early.
Really?
Yeah. Don't hold me to that. I'm pretty positive it was Guardians 3, but that's crazy. There's always reshoots in those kind of films. Always like months and months of reshoots. But the fact that he has a very strong vision for what he wants, and he just gets along so well with his team. You can tell people who are on set have a great time. I mean, all the BTS stuff that you see come out on social media, it's a blast. It looks like a party. Like you mentioned earlier, when you're working with people that you love, it's never a day of work in your life, right? So,
dude, 100% that I feel blessed with all the teams I'm working with right now.
I love to see that.
Yeah, everyone, it's just a party, just being able to, hop on a Zoom, obviously with everyone being so remote these days. It's really about, just finding times to do water cooler moments digitally, I think is really important to build those relationships because you don't have that in-person feeling anymore, but it's a lot of fun these days.
I love it. That's awesome.
Real quick, Nos Clint, we unfortunately we're not going to LA Comic-Con this year.
How dare you?
We weren't able to make it work this year, but
I know we're going to go. I'll be if anyone plans to be at FanX, I'll be at FanX in San Francisco.
We're getting some cool signatures at FanX. I won't be there, but Sean will do it for me.
I got a bunch of Lord of the Rings tapes. We're gonna get signed. It's gonna be great. All the hobbits are gonna be there. It's gonna be fun.
I love it. You guys know I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh yeah.
Oh really?
Oh nice.
Oh snap! I presume, but I didn't. Yeah, we didn't talk about it.
I'll show you some stuff when we get off the stream.
Cool.
Oh, sweet. Okay, yeah, same. Yes, that's awesome. Oh yeah, when we're at FanX in Salt Lake City, we actually had a chance to meet Andy Serkis, who's awesome. He's such a rad guy.
You know that he reread the audiobooks, right?
What?
Oh no.
Yo, okay, guys, the greatest thing. It's honestly God's gift to Earth that this happened. It is the greatest things in the history of things. Audible has them, all 3 books, voice acted by Andy Serkis. They are incredible. Obviously, when he does Gollum, you just get chills, but he also nails everyone's voice. He nails Ian McKellen. He nails all of them. And it is insane.
Oh,
I'm definitely going to have to check that out.
Matt, my heart is glowing right now. That is so cool. Wow. Oh, man. What a great idea. I'm surprised. I've never heard this.
It came out 10 years ago. No idea. I had no idea. I found out about it about 7 months ago, maybe 8. But it is so crazy how it just sort of went under the radar.
Yeah.
My next big cross country road trip. That's what I'm going to listen to for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I just pour a glass of wine and sit on my couch.
I think Andy Serkis is probably one of the most underrated artists in Hollywood. I mean, that guy, he is so unbelievably talented.
So talented.
Yeah. Yeah. We actually, I actually want to show you something real quick. I'll bring it back.
Sean's always got some good show and tell.
I love it. I just sent you a link, by the way, Spencer, to a snippet from the Instagram link is a snippet from it.
Let me share this real quick.
Oh, wow.
Can you play your unmute it? Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
You had got none before we get home.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That's awesome.
Had my way, you'd wish you were dead now, said the other. I'll make you squeak, you miserable rat. He stooped over Pippin, bringing his yellow fangs close to his face. He had a black knife with a long, jagged blade in his hand. Lie quiet, or I'll tickle you with this, he hissed.
Oh, my God.
It's so good.
And we're going to get this side by him as well. So, yeah.
I don't know if you can see behind me there. I'm blessed to be friends with Greg Hildebrandt and his wife Jean, who are just, the most incredible people. And when I was at Heavy Metal as a gift, they drew me the Witch King of Agmar fighting Tarna, and that's
wow,
that is so cool. That's just it's like
that's
personal
awesome.
growth for you, I'm sure.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And did they draw that for you? Like, did they draw?
No, so we put out a calendar last year. Heavy Metal put out a calendar last year.
Yeah.
That this was the centerpiece for, but then they gave me the original sketch for it as
Matt deserves this. Let's give it to Matt.
I think
that's so cool, man.
Yeah, they're the best people in the world.
That's awesome.
So cool.
Matt, it was so much fun having you on today. This is a
Misha,
I was going to say,
Audible.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
sweet.
It sounds like you might have to possibly pay for it, but man, based on that
sounds like it's worth it.
Probably worth it. Yeah, yeah,
it's worth it.
So
if you don't have an Audible subscription, just get the Audible subscription for 3 months. It'll be cheaper to just pay the $15, download it, listen, and then you can cancel your subscription. Then paying, I think it's like $20 if you don't have the subscription. So that's all I have.
Makes sense.
There you go.
I love it.
Well, awesome, man. Thanks so much for coming on today. This has been an absolute blast.
No, this was a ton of fun, guys. I really appreciate it. I don't know. In closing, find me at Matthew Medney on social media. The Gungnir website will be ready and live in December. I'll send you guys the link when it's up. Go Seahawks. and
we got you on Thanksgiving. We got you on Thanksgiving night.
It's going to be a crazy game. It's going to be a crazy game.
It's a tight division now. Well, sort of between Seahawks
and then the last two plugs are iconicarts.com and battlefly.game/Coliseum. I sent you guys the link for that as well. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me on. Hopefully we do it again soon. Always a blast.
Really look forward to it, Matt. And everyone, make sure to follow Matt. We'll include the links down, the details below. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We'll see you on the next one.
Thanks, guys.